Racist receptionist mocks black guest, not realizing he quietly owns the entire hotel chain. The lobby of the Grand Meridian Hotel gleamed under soft chandelier light, its marble floors reflecting the understated wealth of downtown Chicago. Marcus Wright stepped through the revolving doors, his polished shoes clicking softly. At 42, he carried himself with the quiet confidence of a man who'd built an empire from nothing. His tailored navy suit fit perfectly, but it was his eyes sharp, steady, and unyielding that told the story of a life spent overcoming. He was here for a routine inspection, but no one in the lobby knew that. To them, he was just another guest. At the reception desk, a young woman named Claire typed furiously, her blonde hair pulled into a tight bun. Her name tag gleamed, but her smile was absent as Marcus approached. He set his leather briefcase down and cleared his throat. "Good evening. I'm checking in. Reservation under Marcus Wright." Claire glanced up, her eyes narrowing slightly. She scanned him, his suit, his posture, his skin, and her lips curled into a faint, condescending smirk. "Right, huh?" she said, her tone clipped. "Let me check. We're pretty booked tonight." Her fingers danced across the keyboard, but her gaze lingered on Marcus, sizing him up in a way that felt like a blade. Marcus noticed. He always noticed, growing up in a small town where his family was one of the few black households. He'd learned to read the subtle cues, the tightened lips, the raised brows, the unspoken assumptions. He said nothing, just waited, his hands clasped calmly in front of him. Claire sighed dramatically. No reservation under that name. Are you sure you're at the right hotel? There's a motel a few blocks down that might have availability." Her voice dripped with insinuation, and a few nearby guests glanced over, sensing the tension. A bellhop, a young man named Javier, froze mid-step, his eyes darting between Marcus and Claire. Marcus's jaw tightened, but his voice remained even. "I'm certain. Check again, please." Claire rolled her eyes, her fingers tapping slower now, as if the task were beneath her. "Look, sir, we don't have anything. Maybe you got the dates wrong. Happens a lot." She leaned forward, her voice lowering to a patronizing whisper. "This is a high-end establishment. We cater to a certain clientele." The air in the lobby seemed to thicken. Javier, still holding a luggage cart, shifted uncomfortably. A middle-aged couple waiting nearby exchanged glances, their discomfort palpable. Marcus's eyes locked onto Claire's, unblinking. "Check. Again," he repeated, each word deliberate. Claire scoffed, louder this time, drawing more eyes. "Fine, but I'm telling you, there's nothing here. Maybe try calling ahead next time." Her tone was sharp, her words laced with a venom that felt personal. She turned to her screen, muttering just loud enough for Marcus to hear. "Some people think they belong everywhere." That was when the lobby doors swung open again, and a new figure entered, an older white man in a rumpled suit, his face flushed with urgency. His name was Harold, the hotel's general manager, and he'd just received a call from corporate. His eyes scanned the lobby, landing on Marcus. Recognition hit him like a freight train. "Mr. Wright." Harold's voice boomed, cutting through the tension. He hurried forward, nearly tripping over a rug. "Two didn't know you were arriving tonight. My apologies for not being here to greet you personally." Claire froze, her fingers hovering over the keyboard. "Wait, what?" she stammered, her smirk vanishing. Harold ignored her, his focus on Marcus. "Sir, we're honored to have you. Your suite is ready, of course. I'll personally ensure everything is to your satisfaction." The lobby fell silent. The couple by the elevator stared. Javier's mouth dropped open. Claire's face paled as she connected the dots. Marcus Wright wasn't just a guest. He was the Marcus Wright, founder and CEO of Meridian Enterprises, the parent company that owned this hotel and dozens of others across the country. He wasn't just wealthy. He was the man who signed their paychecks. Marcus's expression didn't change. He leaned slightly toward Claire, his voice low but piercing. You didn't find my reservation because you didn't want to, but let me make this clear. I don't just belong here. I own here. Claire's hands trembled as she fumbled with the keyboard. "You didn't know, sir. I'm so sorry. It was a mistake. A mistake." Marcus cut her off, his voice still calm but now carrying an edge. "No. A mistake is misspelling a name. What you did was assume. You saw my face and decided I didn't belong." The weight of his words hung heavy. The couple by the elevator looked away, ashamed. Javier stepped forward, his voice tentative. "Mr. Wright, I saw what happened. I should have said something. I'm sorry." Marcus turned to Javier, his gaze softening. "You're honest. That's more than some can say." He glanced at Claire, who was now staring at the floor, her bravado gone. Harold, sweating, tried to defuse the situation. "Mr. Wright, I assure you, this isn't how we operate. I'll handle this immediately." But Marcus raised a hand, silencing him. "No, let's talk about how you do operate. Because if this is how your staff treats guests, how they treat me, then we have a problem. Not just here, but in every hotel I own." Claire's eyes welled up, but Marcus wasn't done. He turned to the small crowd now gathered in the lobby. "This isn't about one receptionist. It's about a system that lets someone like her think this behavior is okay. It's about the assumptions we carry, the ones we don't question. I built this company to create spaces where everyone belongs, but clearly, we're not there yet." The twist came from an unexpected voice. A woman in her 60s, standing near the concierge desk, stepped forward. She wore a simple cardigan and carried a worn handbag, looking like any other guest. But her voice was firm. "I've been coming to this hotel for years," she said, her eyes on Claire. "My son was black. He passed away, but he loved this place. If he'd walked in tonight, would you have treated him the same way?" The question hit like a thunderclap. Claire's tears spilled over, and she shook her head, unable to speak. The woman Eleanor, a retired teacher, continued. "You don't know who people are. You don't know their stories. But you judged him anyway." She gestured to Marcus, her voice breaking. "You judged all of us." Marcus looked at Eleanor, gratitude flickering in his eyes. He hadn't expected an ally, but her words shifted the room's energy. The couple by the elevator nodded silently. Javier wiped his eyes. Even Harold seemed to shrink, realizing the depth of the failure. Marcus took a breath, addressing the room. "I could fire her," he said, nodding toward Claire. "But that's too easy. She needs to learn, not just lose her job. And this company needs to do better. Starting now." He turned to Harold. "Set up training. Not just diversity nonsense, real conversations about bias, about respect. And Claire, you're attending every session. You're also working the night shift for a month. Maybe cleaning rooms will teach you what it means to serve." Claire nodded, her face a mix of shame and relief. Marcus picked up his briefcase and headed for the elevator, but not before pausing by Eleanor. "Thank you," he said softly. "Your son would be proud." As the elevator doors closed, the lobby buzzed with whispers. Claire sank into a chair, her world upended. Javier approached her, his voice gentle. "You messed up, but you can fix it. Start by listening." The Grand Meridian would never be the same. Marcus's visit wasn't just an inspection. It was a reckoning. And as he looked out over the city from his penthouse suite, he felt a quiet resolve. Change was hard, but it was possible one person, one story, one truth at a time. What do you think? Can one moment of confrontation truly change a community's values? Or is it just a start?